Good day. I've been doing some hand weeding on beds that I have things growing in that will be being harvested. So this is our beetroot, which was a late sowing, you may remember, and then our chicory. I mean, that's looking rather glorious. Look at this one though, look at that. Gosh, look at it. It's just glorious. Can you see right in there? That's going to be delicious. Various others coming here. I did come down on Sunday and strim, but I must have forgot to strim around here. And that's another area. We've still got some potatoes in there, so I'll be digging those out later in the week. And then that will be weeded and covered. Didn't strim this area. Quite a bit of tidying up to do. This is going to be a wildflower bed for next year. It's coming along quite nicely. We've put quite a few things into here. Oh, it's a foxy, I think, been doing a bit of digging there. This broad bean is coming along nicely. It's going to be a soulless broad bean in this bed. Much of this is Nigella and forget-me-nots. These are forget-me-nots, and these, as you mostly know, are Nigella, love in the mist. A few weeds in there as well, so I'll be doing a bit of hand weeding in this bed as well. The garlic is there. Just had a few things coming up, a few weeds coming up in it. So gave it a cursory hand weeding. And then this is a bed which again is just going to be flowers next year. But there was some couch grass coming up in there, so I was pulling that out. This bed will wait for another day. On Sunday our plot neighbours were down and they were doing quite a lot, so which was lovely. And they did put these not sure if you can see elephant garlic in, but a fox has clearly enjoyed the way that they've turfed their soil up. It's the way that their mum used to do it, and they're giving it a go this year. And then I've just given this bed another little weed. I'm going to put a shout out about this calendula, see if anyone wants it. And we've still got chard and beetroot and chicory coming in this bed, so I've weeded that as well. That will be the next bed to weed here. But it's now about, I don't know, it must be about 4 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon, and I've done my bit. I've done my bit for today. Can you see how gorgeous that sky is? Oh, it's just, I mean, it looks far, far better, I know, to me with my naked eye than it does through my camera phone, but it really is glorious. Just utterly, utterly glorious. Another thing that was utterly, utterly glorious was Sunday. It was a glorious day, it really was. It was so sunny and it was warm, and I was in shirt sleeves, 2 t-shirts, that was it, didn't need anything else. Did the strimming, then I just started sorting bits and pieces around the plot. Still lots to sort. I took all of the cardoon stems and I put them onto a deadhead so any creatures in them could get away. I took any dead detritus from the ragwort that we had for the cinnabar caterpillar. I took those off and put those on a dead hedge. I tidied back some of the blackberry here. We've got the cultivated blackberry here, but a uncultivated blackberry also comes up, so I was cutting that back. I was just doing bits and bits and bits, and I had such a glorious time. And it was so quiet, and my plot neighbours next door were here, being lovely and quiet and getting on with things, as was another plot neighbour over there and another one there. So it was such a glorious Sunday, it really was. And I was listening to Woman's Hour, was it Woman's Hour or You and Yours, I think it was, on Monday. And they were saying, what's your idea of perfection? And I was going to email in and say that my idea of perfection was Sunday morning, because it was such a glorious time down here. It really was. It lifted my whole mood. Maybe my mojo has started coming back. Maybe it has. And I spotted that endive, that red endive, looking so amazing. Not red endive, red chicory, looking so amazing, There's gulls going over at the moment. Hello. There's 3, but only one is chatting. And parakeets came over before. The magpie, who always seems to be hopping around, he and his partner, magpie, were here. Mate, it's his mate. They've had little magpie baby. Oh, he's over there. He's over there on the shed roof of another plotter. It's funny this, and someone else actually said this a couple of weeks ago, that whenever I seem to be here, there's always a couple of magpies hopping around our plot. It's quite interesting. Anyway, I came down because I checked out the communal shed the other day, and black bags. We'd run out of black bags, so I brought these black bags down. We've got our Bonfire Social this coming Saturday. Of course, black bags won't be burnt on the bonfire, but there's always detritus, things that need to be thrown away and go in household waste, or get taken to go home to go into recycling. So I've got an extra lot of black bags, and today I've just been weeding, as you have seen. Weeding the beds that I've got things growing in, and I'm feeling good actually. Had such a long day for Earth's sake yesterday, really long. I was there 9.5 hours, and then there's the 2 hours drive there, the hour and a quarter, hour and a half drive back. So it was a really long day. And when I was standing much of the day because we were doing a stock take, and when I was between the beds weeding here, I felt a little twinge in my back. So I thought, no, time to give it a rest for today. And hopefully I'll be down again tomorrow to carry on doing some weeding. And I think, are not going to be doing the broad beans this week. I think we'll be doing those next week. I think I will have to sow a couple of broad beans just next to that broad bean up there, so it's not too lonely. Maybe it likes being lonely. Maybe that's why it's there. Maybe it's a bit of a hermit broad bean. Maybe it likes its own company. Or it likes the company of Nigella and Calendula and other things around it, but not other broad beans. Yeah, I can get that. Anyway, waffle. I am going to go. It's the sun has now dropped behind the tree line, so it is getting a little bit cooler now. It's amazing. Just that non-sight of sun means that, of course, those heat rays aren't getting to you. So the temperature does drop quite quickly, but I think it's going to get down to 9 degrees this evening. I think they said last night it was going to be 6, but actually it turned out at 6 o'clock it was 12 degrees. So I think we got a little bit of chillier weather coming. Anyway, if we have, we'll be chatting about it. See you very soon. Bye. Good day. I've just dug up this area here and got these additional potatoes. I think at the weekend I'll dig the rest of the bed just to see if I've missed any. I'm sure I've missed some, but as you can most probably see here, these are a mixture of whites and reds, and I know that the variety I planted was Charlotte, and there's quite a few red potatoes in there. I don't really understand that. I've grown reds here before, but not really that would deliver the quantity of red harvest that we've had over this season with our potatoes in this bed. And of course this bed was really dug over well in the spring before I planted the potatoes, which were all Charlottes. So yeah, that's a bit odd. Not a great harvest of potatoes, not our worst by any means. This is now the fifth batch of potatoes we've had, all a similar size to this in terms of harvest. So basically we've had 5 times this, which when you consider the price of potatoes you buy in shops and the cost of potato seed, and the length of time in the ground and all of that, it makes growing potatoes in terms of the cost of buying potatoes pretty ridiculous. I.e., you can spend the same amount of money on potatoes in shops than you do on seed potatoes from a seed potato merchant, and get far more for your money in the shop than you would from a potato merchant in terms of eating. However, in terms of flavour, there's basically no comparison. These taste so superior to potatoes that we find in shops. So actually, I will do potatoes again next year. I will do them in the bed, the raised bed that I'm sitting on, the one that we looked at, that I weeded the other day. I won't do them in the ground here again though, I don't think. But you can see there's lots of detritus, lots of bindweed, and another fork over of this, and then it will be covered for the winter. But yeah, that's the 5th harvest of potatoes this year, all about the same size as this one, and I think we'll most probably get a few more from the bed when we fork it over again. But yeah, that's it for today, and that's it really for our potato harvest. I don't weigh things. It would be sensible. If I had more time I would do that. And how will we have these? I don't know, but what I will do before I take them home, because they're all going to be eaten in the next week or so, I'll give them all a good clean before I take them home and make sure I get all the ground off, because there's no point in taking the ground on these potatoes home for it to go down our sink. Best that I wash them here, get them clean, and then I can put the water onto one of our beds, which means that the soil on these potatoes will stay on the plot. Right, that's it for today. We've got our Bonfire Social tomorrow. It's now Friday afternoon. We've got our Bonfire Social on Saturday. There's a lot of preparation for that in the morning, and then I'll be down only briefly in the evening just to show my face and say hello, and then I'll be going home to watch something on TV with Richard. And actually, yeah, I'm going home now. So see you again, maybe, most probably on Sunday, not tomorrow. Okay, bye. Good day. The remnants of our Bonfire Social, which has 2 barbecues. This one's the meat barbecue, And over there you might be able to see the round one, which is the veggie barbecue. There's a few of us coming down now just to put all the chairs away. The chairs get stacked and then they go under what do you call them? Oh, rubble sacks, no, dumpy bags, the big ton bags they go under. There's Jackie over there, who you've seen before when we were cutting the front a few months ago. So yeah, this is the remnants of the bonfire, and I think we got through a huge amount of wood. Yeah. It surprises me every single year just how much wood accumulates over the year. It's just astonishing. I mean, some will get rot, you know, and be thrown away, and then people go, oh, I'll use that, and then they don't use it for several years. So yeah, so just a few of us. Jackie's taking the barbecue back over there. We've just given it a clean out. So yeah, I'll catch up with you shortly once we've done what we need to do here. I've decided I'm going to sow some of these everlasting peas in pots if I can get into them. No idea how many seeds there'll be that will be viable. Looks to be quite a few, more than I thought. Well, when I say viable, I mean that look like seeds that can be sown. Yeah, there's quite a lot there. Look at those. Actually, I'm not going to do those two because that's more than I thought we'd get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So those can go. So I've got 18 seeds there. Yeah, that one doesn't look viable. That looks broken, so I'm throwing that one away. That one doesn't look mature to me. That one's going away. That one again is broken. So ended up with 15 there. Yay! Excellent. Put those in my pocket. And then all I'm doing is just filling these pots, which are, they're about 11 centimeters square by 12 deep. Filling them up. Press it down a little bit. And then I'm just going to put 4 seeds and push down a couple of, well, an inch. I was going to say a couple of inches, but I'm pushing down an inch. And then pressing rather than firming down, because you want to make sure that the seeds are in good contact with the compost. These are, well, as you can see, these aren't pre-soaked at all, and these are the everlasting pea that has no fragrance but looks rather nice in our hedgerow, well, our neighbour's hedgerow, when the roses come out. Just pressing down. Actually, you know what, I'm gonna put 5 in each, because then that will use up all of these seeds, and hopefully I'll be able to separate them should they all germinate. Right, and those, I think they can stay outside, but I'm going to pop them into the greenhouse just because I want to keep squirrels away from them. I've done a few other jobs, just a little bit of tidying of some things. I've most probably, on the spectrum of tidying between 1 and 100, I've most probably got to about 5, so there's quite a long way to go, but I'll get there. So that is the everlasting pea sown. I've been calling it a sweet pea, though actually it's not truly a sweet pea, because a sweet pea is called a sweet pea because it's sweet smelling. And if we go back to the Latin names, they're both Lathyrus, L-A-T-H-Y-R-U-S. So sweet peas and the pea that I've sown today, and peas of that sort, are all Lathyrus. The one that I've sown today is latifolius. And what that means is basically a broadleaf pea. Lati as in broad, foli as in leaf. So it's a latifolius, and that is the everlasting pea. I must call it that. It's also called the perennial peavine and the broad-leaved everlasting pea. So we now know that. The sweet pea, its name is Lathyrus odoratus. So odor, smelling. So it's basically sweet pea because it has a lovely scent to it, a lovely smell to it. I thought that was really sort of interesting. I thought when I was going to sow these today, I thought I better just sort of look up. I'm terrible with Latin names. I was quite good at Latin. I was okay at Latin. But Latin names I can never ever remember, so I thought I'd write them down. So they're the same genus, but there are different species. That's the thing. So Lathyrus is the genus, and the species is obviously the bit latifolius and the odoratus. So there we are. And what I did read about the everlasting peavine, is that if it germinates, it will germinate and then it will flower the following year. So basically we've got 2 years to wait before that will flower. And some people have said, I was looking at a few articles, and there was a couple of articles saying that it might do something in the second year, but will likely do something in the third year. So that might be what one of the people here was saying, that it's difficult to get them to flower because you might grow them and then the following year they come up and they don't flower, and you think, well, that's a bit pointless. So yeah, anyway, we will see. And if I can find a photo of the pea, the everlasting peavine, as it was in our neighbour's rose hedge, I'll put it in here. But yeah, that's it for today. We've cleared the whole area now. That's all sorted. Everything is back to how it was yesterday. In fact, it's tidier than it was yesterday. We had a really good turnout for the work party in the morning to get prepared for the evening. And there was a few people who came down. I didn't know that there were people coming down at 10 to help sort of sort things out. I was down earlier than that, so was somebody else. So the two of us and one other person set to and just did what we needed to do, which is absolutely fine. Now the bonfire embers were still going, so that gives people who weren't here yesterday or over the last few days where they've been able to leave wood, that gives them an opportunity today to reignite those embers, which has happened, and put their own wood detritus onto that bonfire. So it's burning away at the moment. Yesterday somebody was coming down with fresh buddleia cuttings, and I went, no, those have to go in the dead hedge or your own compost, we're not burning green matter, live matter. You know, even though those buddleias have been cut off, there's lots of sap in them and they will create an awful lot of smoke. And what we don't want to do here is create huge amounts of smoke. A, we don't want to do that anyway, but B, you know, we've got a respite centre by us, we've got the hospital by us, we've got residents and a pub by us. So, you know, we have to be careful about when we burn things. And in fact, I mentioned a few years ago, we did have a vote on burning here, and the overall feeling consensus was that we should have less burning. So now you're only allowed to burn on your plots between the months of November and March, and it needs to be in a fire bin. And then of course we have the big bonfire, which obviously has significant temperature to it. We have that on the weekend of Guy Fawkes, bonfire night here, the 5th of November. So we had it yesterday, the 2nd. And that gives people the opportunity that any wood, any rotting wood, anything like that, they can burn it then. And they can, if they weren't able to come down, as I say, they can burn it today. And as I sit here in the poly, I can see that it's still smouldering away with people putting stuff on it. So that's good. That's good. I mean, obviously a lot can go to the dump, but a lot of rotten wood will just end up in landfill, I believe, anyway. So, you know, we don't want that. Best to get rid of it. And then people can, because we only burn wood, apart from bee frames. So we have bee frames which have got wax on them. They've been used throughout the season, the bee season, and they get used as sort of like a fire lighter. So I think there was about 10 bee frames in the bottom. Everything else is wood. You know, we don't allow any plastics or we don't allow anything that isn't wood or a branch, if you see what I mean. So, and it has to be dry, it has to be dead. So yeah, you know, that's where we are. Anyway, whatever is happening at your garden, your growing space, or your allotment, I hope it is going well. If you're having bonfires or have had bonfires, I hope they do go well or have gone well. And any comments, any questions, please do leave them down below. Otherwise, I will see you in a week's time on YouTube for another full upload, or as we go through the week on Planet Vegetaria, there'll be uploads as and when. See you very soon, and happy growing. Bye.